Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining Lighthouse's Higher Education Dashboard webinar. We are very excited to present to you our industry solutions and expertise specific to higher ed. Please note that we are recording this session, so if you may refrain from asking any questions during, we'll have plenty of time for Q&A at the end. Just a brief agenda. We're going to discuss a bit about Lighthouse and what it is we do, as well as our experience within the higher ed industry. And then second, I'll introduce our higher education advanced dashboarding solution, aptly named Heads Up. And then my colleague Itzik will present our cognitive course scheduling solution, Minerva. Some background information on your presenters. My name is Dave Pacific, and I've been an analytics consultant for over 10 years. Been heavily involved with a multitude of higher ed clients, all the way from financial aid to advancement to enterprise reporting and analytics. I actually spent time working directly for a higher ed institution, so I was in the trenches every day and truly gained insight into some of the pain points around higher ed data. Like many of our clients, I was stuck in operational and ad hoc reporting while utilizing enterprise and self-service tools. This, of course, left little capacity for more strategic initiatives and found my story to be very similar to many of our clients, which is precisely why I'm here presenting these amazing solutions to you today. My colleague, Itzik, our big brain, and he's developed the cognitive solution Minerva that we're going to show you today as a result of polling your peers for what were some of the biggest pain points within the industry. He has over 20 years of consulting experience and currently supports a number of clients doing both development and strategy work for many different higher ed offices and departments. Lately, he's really been assisting universities with mind share around machine learning and cognitive analytics. Lighthouse is headquartered in Lincoln, Rhode Island, with additional offices in both New York and Toronto. Clients really choose Lighthouse because we have a regional presence, and it shows our commitment to our clients by being local and on-site, which allows us in turn to build deep relationships and intimate knowledge of their environment. We also tout our stability as an organization given our consistent coverage with low attrition, our strength of the business based on year-over-year growth, and our ability to invest in our company by making acquisitions and building the skills our clients need. With an average of over 20 years of experience, our consultants at Lighthouse are really some of the best and the brightest in their respective industries. The value and level of talent we have for our technical experts consistently exceeds our clients' expectations. Our clients stick with us because of our commitment to our client success. This is evident with the fact that 75% of our original clients have been doing business with us for over 20 years. And we have over 90% repeat business. So once clients do business with us, they see our commitment to their success and never hesitate to come back to the well to engage with us again. Itzik and myself represent only a small part of the analytics group, but by taking a holistic approach to viable services and solutions, the true beauty of Lighthouse is that each practice complements one another so that we can speak to and service a number of facets within our clients. Being able to facilitate meaningful conversations across not only analytics, but also security, hybrid cloud, and infrastructure, we ensure we're able to drive end-to-end value for our clients and meet their needs from soup to nuts. Our core responsibility is to really help our clients realize where they are within their analytics journey, look forward to where they want to be, and then how we can help them to get there. The key to our success is in leveraging our clients' existing skill sets, helping them to implement what they need within identified gaps, and getting them enabled. Really, the majority of our higher ed clients we work with are early on in their analytics journey, somewhere down here in the bottom left. More in an operational mode, or what has happened. More work in this area is done around information management and grooming the data to be consumed. Once we move more toward gaining knowledge and insight from that data, or what's likely to happen, comes with performance management, planning, and forecasting. We do have a number of clients that are up toward the far right that are now driving actions based on data using more predictive and cognitive analytics, which we'll show some of today. Our higher ed clients engage with us for a number of reasons. With over 20 years of experience, we have been supporting and servicing some of the largest and most esteemed colleges and universities within the country. Experience that spans a number of systems of record and engagement across admissions, enrollments, campaigns, engagement, and clients with systems like Banner, Workday, PeopleSoft, Argos, and Blackbaud. Higher ed is certainly our largest vertical and where we have the most experience. So much so that some of our key strategic partners look to our technical consultants and service leads for pre-sales and ongoing support. And of course, the reason you're all here today, our higher ed solutions, Heads Up, and Minerva are both direct results of our experience in the industry. By helping our clients turn information into actionable insights, we are able to develop strategies for how to best use data and move the needle toward achieving their goals. Whether it's increasing the success rate of admissions and identifying students at risk, or assisting in campaign management to get that dollar figure, we've been helping our clients answer these big questions and face these challenges head-on. In identifying key business drivers, executives and senior leadership are able to make better institutional and financial decisions. To even get to that level of insight, having clean data is of the utmost importance, and we are able to help clients get there. As with any tool or solution, we understand the importance of enablement from both a technical and conceptual perspective, and offer health assessments and training to ensure our clients are getting the most out of their applications and subsequently their data. Because of my higher ed experience, I found myself thinking more about how I can help move the needle within higher ed, and saw the value in what Lighthouse is trying to accomplish within the industry using the solutions we're about to show you. As we go through our presentation, I'd really like you folks to think about these applications more from the art of the possible perspective rather than face value. Although we're presenting solutions, what's most important to understand is the concept and functionality and how this applies to your experience and where you are on your analytics journey. Colleges and universities all have similar questions, but most of the time the data does not exist in the same place in order to answer. Questions like, where are our alumni located? Have you improved retention rates? What is the graduation rate across the institution? What demographic criteria is a predictor for engagement? Which programs have the highest success rate for placing students in internships? Time and money is lost navigating bad data and scouring multiple applications where the source of truth may be lost somewhere along the way. Heads Up puts the time and money back in the hands of executives and senior leaders while gaining trust in the data behind the scenes and allowing for a single point of entry to highlight all key metrics for the university. Our IBM certified solution, Heads Up, was developed as a result of an engagement with a higher ed institution. The issue they faced was a lack of a data warehouse and handfuls of disparate data sources that were siloed across the university. Without the budget, but with the tools, we developed a front-end dashboard solution for their executives and senior leaders to easily be able to consume and interact with their data across different departments. Data that came from multiple sources were now available at their fingertips each day, burst into their email, desktop computer, or mobile device. What we are able to provide gets the conversation started for building data governance and policies. The interface itself is fully customizable. We certainly understand not one size fits all, so please remember to keep in mind the art of the possible while viewing. Using simple data extracts, whether Excel or CSV, we're able to address the high-level questions surrounding admissions, enrollment, retention, graduation rates, student sentiment analysis using social media, and even campaign progress. With the ability to navigate to lower-level detail to see who attended an event, how much they donated, if at all, or the propensity to donate. How important is it to understand what a household's income is when soliciting constituents for a specific campaign? This level of detail is possible with data augmentation and enrichment from our partners at Pitney, which I'll talk about more in a second. And lastly, using location intelligence, simply starting from an alumni name or email address, we can better project where to hold an event or have development officers target making visits for alumni that we have not moved in a while. Heads Up offers multiple perspectives given how a university or college defines success, or what KPIs are of the utmost importance to them. Immediate answers to questions like, what do graduation rates look like across each of our campuses? How are applications and enrollments trending within each of our schools? Having a quick pulse check on overall trending can lead to further questions, which is where Heads Up allows the users to continue to navigate down a data-driven path to help answer them. Heads Up leverages master data management to get to a single alumnus, student, or constituent record, and then using Pitney Bowes MapIntelligence and data enrichments, we are able to deliver mapping functionality like never before. IBM is now incorporating world boundaries location-based data from Pitney Bowes, giving our clients the ability to unlock insights tied to location, geographies, and demographics, and create more targeted campaigns and promotions. The importance of data in the quality, integration, governance, and augmentation is really what enables the most actionable insights. Standardization of addresses, names, dates, emails, and phone numbers allow our higher ed clients to reach more prospective students and alumni that were lost in translation. And getting to that single golden record makes it possible to augment that data with information like household income, number of people in the household, age of the people in the household, their occupation, place of employment, level of education, social media handles. The list goes on and on. As a former higher ed employee myself, I experienced the pain of manually deduping records one at a time as conforming to what we had deemed the best available address, whether it was right or wrong. Using master data management and data cleansing solutions, we were able to take the guesswork out of student, alumnus, and constituent duplicates in the system, a problem we know many institutions face. The algorithms for matching records and defining exceptions are getting better all the time. And once we know that we're able to trust our data, it is much easier to enhance and get to the next level of insight. Now that you have an understanding of the background and key concepts of Heads Up, let's go ahead and get into the actual demo. Let me go ahead and bring up a web browser, Cognos Analytics. I'm going to launch Heads Up here. So the first perspective I'm going to show is all out-of-the-box Cognos functionality, again contained within an intuitive and interactive dashboard. Multiple department views are contained within the tabs at the top of the dashboard here, from a campus summary to retention to campaign progress, all available at a user's fingertips. Our summary view shows 4 key metrics: overall graduation rate, percent degrees completed with full-time students, number of applicants, and number of enrollments for each campus. The gauges here on the left are filterable not only by campus, but also fiscal year, whereas the line graphs for applicants and enrollments have fiscal year along the bottom to show trending over time for each major. Moving over to our scorecard metrics, we're able to immediately react to our key performance indicators based on the coloring of the stoplight: red bad, green good, yellow okay. Reviewing the number of applicants and enrollments against our target, as graduation rates are separated by overall and undergrad. Like the previous view, we can also filter between fiscal years, as well as our campus views. Now that we've viewed several of our key metrics at a high level, we have more questions that remain unanswered. Navigating to additional detail tabs for a given metric, in this instance, applications, we see the number of applicants now broken down by each of our schools, business, hospitality, broadcasting, and so on. Like the previous scorecard, for each school and major within that school, using a stoplight scoring mechanism, we're able to see how many applicants we've received against our target. Enrollments gives us a similar view as applicants, broken down by school, but contains interactivity to again filter by fiscal year, and campus. We're able to view the number of student enrollments and compare them by school, as well as different demographic details such as gender, full-time versus part-time, domestic versus international, and lastly, what grad level. Most of the same functionality is available on the Admissions tab. This time, while viewing the actual number of students admitted by the same demographic detail. Within our Retention tab, we're able to review year-over-year trending for each campus. And as you can see, one of our campuses, Colchester, seems to be trending downward in FY17, whereas Detling seems to be trending upward. If we filter on those two campuses, we can start to see if it's a single major or set of majors that are trending downward. By filtering on the School of Business and School of Hospitality, we confirm that trend. However, we filter on Culinary Arts, starting to show an upward trend for this fiscal year across both campuses. As previously mentioned, we've augmented some of the student data to pull in social media and understand how the students feel about our school. We're able to assess both positive and negative sentiments across each campus and each school. Looking at each campus and major, the word cloud conveys that inclusion and accessibility are part of the positive draw. If we start to filter by major, for example, Culinary Arts, we see that these students are pleased with the transportation around campus. Changing from a positive to a negative sentiment, we immediately see that both the meal plan food quality are an issue, which may be correlated to the fact that these are culinary arts students who probably want to cook for themselves. Just to validate that perception, we can switch to liberal arts to find a similar sentiment, but stronger feeling towards the suite living room quality. And finally, viewing both perspectives side by side, we're able to see both views as to how our students truly feel about our school. The Internship tab allows us to filter for different types of internships across both campus and school in order to see where the most number of interns are being placed. The visualization here, a heat map, uses a darker shade of blue given a greater concentration of students. If we were to look at paid internships, for profit and nonprofit that are optional, we are able to see that most of these types of internships attract senior culinary arts students. Our last view contains more campaign metrics and donor performance. Within this tab, we actually have sub-tabs for donations, engagement, and then a tab that's specific to analyzing donor performance. Starting with donations, we can see how our campaign is performing overall, as well as for the fiscal year to date. For performance to date, we can review the allocation of donation funds to different areas, such as student support, program-specific, research, and so on. The donor bands here allow us to drill down to individual detailed donor levels. For example, if we look at the 500 to 750K donors, we're able to see who they are, how much they've donated, when they donated, and other demographic details about them. If we look at Kurt, our alumnus, we find that he may be a lapsed donor. However, he lives in New York, and we're considering hosting an event in that area. And given Kurt's previous major gift and prior event attendance, he might be a good candidate to invite. Navigating back up to the Donations tab, you can switch over to the Engagement view. From an event attendance view, we quickly see January is typically when we host most events, and they're well attended within the heat map on the left. And since we are thinking about hosting an event in New York, we should probably look at what top donors are within the area to also invite. The same drill-through functionality allows us to learn more about the donor to help gauge their interest in attendance. Again, navigating back to the engagement view, the last tab within our alumni area allows users to slice the data by different demographic information in order to analyze the average donations by age and by fiscal quarter and number of donations by grad year. Looking at Massachusetts and New York, we're able to see that our target age group is 31 to 40-year-olds. So again, considerations for what alumni we may target to solicit for an event. This next dashboard view continues the conversation about our alumni, but utilizes Pitney Bowes MapIntelligence in order to visually see what locations might be best to host an event or areas a development officer may want to target for visits. The map visualization is interactive with all of the Cognos functionality and filters that are available on the dashboard. Upon first glance, we're able to see which zip codes within New England have a higher concentration of alumni and where our top donors reside in relation. By clicking on a top donor, we're able to see detailed information all the way down to their address within the visualization. And here we find Tyrone has 4 high school age kids in the house and has a household income of over $1 million. We can also add in where we have hosted previous events and view the details to consider whether or not that venue is something we'd like to use again, as well as how many alumni we may attract from the corresponding zip codes. By updating the map view, we can add hotspots or clusters to better view concentrations of our alumni. By using the Cognos filters, we can actually show selected alumni for a given age range and income and project that onto the map. Now the list on the right-hand side shows us the entire selection of members and again allows us to drill down to an individual alumni record. So, as you can see with some of the data you have today, it's quick and easy to get to actionable insights while using a simple and intuitive dashboard interface with Heads Up. So at this point in time, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Itzik Maz, to introduce course scheduling with Minerva and Watson.
Hi, my name is Itzik Maoz, a Senior Solution Architect with Lighthouse. I'm going to present our Higher Education Minerva solution for cognitive course selection. This solution is aimed to help students get an individualized course list that takes their different needs and preferences into account. This, in turn, will increase student retention and even can be leveraged to attract more students. Let's look at some of the challenges and opportunities in the context for advisory and course selection. One of the core issues is the ratio of student to advisors. And in some institutions, a student-advisor meeting is limited and is all about logistics. Of course, this is where there are many students per advisor and multiple choices of courses and degree requirements. Some of the degree are very straightforward. We named our solution Minerva for the reasons that you can see in this slide. I wanted for a moment to define what we mean by cognitive solution. So here we go. Cognitive, having to do with thought, judgment, or knowledge. It's a process that us humans go through when trying to make sense of the stimuli around us. Similar to humans, cognitive field in computer science describes technology platforms that, broadly speaking, are based on the scientific discipline of artificial intelligence and signal processing, and include natural language processing, machine learning, text analytics, audio, and vision processing. In the context of our solution, the cognitive part of Minerva is trying to match courses with student preferences articulated as unstructured text. The solution is using IBM Watson for things such as personality insight, natural language understanding, and IBM Watson Discovery Services. As part of the process of developing the product, we use an agile type process with IBM design thinking, where we try to better understand the personas that are going to use the solution. This is an example of an empathy map, where we try to better understand what a person thinks, feels, etc. Now let's jump right in and review the solution. In this first screen, I'm going to log in as one of the students. Now I can see my selected courses and some other rank suggestions. This is a result of my previous visit to this web-based application. What you can see here also is that every course, either selected or ranked, has an overall match score. What does it mean? Overall match score is a combination of all the scores based on my preferences. Let's see what are the types of preferences I can use. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my profile. Here you can see some of the preferences I can input to the system. The first one is an unstructured text-based input about my academic goals, my aspirations, my strengths and weaknesses, and so on. You can also see class size preferences, location preferences, class type. Now we are going to go ahead and see another type of preference, which is the schedule preference. Here I can input the time I'm available for taking the courses. You can see the transparent boxes are the time frames, and you can also see the courses I already selected, how they fit into my calendar. I can go ahead and add more or remove others. One more option here is the personality insight page. And in this page, I can get a glimpse into my personality as analyzed by Watson Personality Insights. This analysis is based on the essay that the student submitted when applying. For instance, you can see here that in the spectrum between being concrete and philosophical, the student scored very high on the philosophical end, and maybe not as modest. Let's log on as a different student. Let's look at the preferences, and especially on the unstructured text preference. Here we have a very short description, so we can showcase some of the concepts found in the course descriptions. So you can see that the first paragraph is dealing with disadvantaged populations. And also the second sentence is actually taken from what Melanie here found in her personality insight. Keeping that in mind, let's go back to the course selection. And let's look at the course description. You can see here that all of the other criteria are pretty perfect, and there is some match with the course description. And you can see here some concepts that are similar to what Melanie had looked for. So you can see here children with special needs, which is a concept matching to the disadvantaged children that she wrote in. Now Melanie can go ahead and, if she wants, add this course to her selected courses. This can be interactive, and she can add courses to her selected courses, remove them, and so on, until she's happy with her selection for the upcoming semester. Then she can submit for review and talk to her advisor about her selections. Coming back to our PowerPoint presentation, I just wanted to touch upon the architecture that we were using here. So this application was created using the IBM Cloud Platform and written in Node.js, and we use Node-RED GUI interface, which is a simpler interface to create applications without much need for programming. We use database to store our information on DB2. And the services from Watson, as I've previously mentioned, are natural language understanding to extract concepts from the student's description, personality insight. At this stage of the application, it's helping the student choose what personality characteristic they might want to include in the goal. In later versions, we plan to automatically add that information to the selection criteria. Discovery is a service that allows us to cognitively search all the courses and score each course based on concepts. There are many enrichments in the Discovery service that can return scores for entities, content hierarchies, sentiment, relations between concepts, and more. Here you can see a query that returned relevant courses. Watson Knowledge Studio enhances Watson Discovery for specific domain or subdomain with relevant entity types, dictionaries, and other linguistic rules. It uses human annotators and other annotators such as machine learning to train Watson. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Itzik. For more information on our solutions or to engage with Lighthouse, please contact myself, David Pacific, or my colleague Itzik Moz via email or LinkedIn. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for your time.